Welcome to another episode of Roll or Die. It's been a little while since we've brought you a strong Portuguese accent, so we thought it's about time to do that now. We have for you first degree black belt and Cia Paulista. You've probably seen him at any number of competitions, any number of big shows. He's been around the traps for a while. He's a black belt under Cia Paulista. He is Augusto. How do I say your surname?
Cursino.
Cursino.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh, awesome.
Practice that. I should have
Thank
practiced
you
that.
guys for
Man,
inviting.
I've seen you around a lot, man. You are in some big comps, and you just always get matched up with absolute beasts or just crazy weapons phenoms. Like you're always a yes to competing, and yet, like the two times I've seen you compete lately, it hasn't gone your way. And I feel like what's that like, man? Because you are such a weapon. You're an imposing force when you walk into the room. You're almost scary, but you're such a nice guy that you're not. But you look scary. You look like you could destroy any human, and yet you get tough battles, man. What's with that?
Yeah, man, like a lot of people say this, like in the last event that I fought there, and after I fight and go outside with my friends there, the two boys coming to me and say this, hey man, you look like so scary, like, but now I can see you smell with everybody here, you're so friendly. I say, man, like, I just try to keep my focus for fight, Unfortunately, I'm an ugly face.
Well, Anton, you must not have seen Augusto at the Pan Packs recently because I think he won everything.
Oh,
you didn't have a bad time there. You've done very well, and the same at Nationals. I think you've done very well at the
Yeah,
tournaments that
like
I've seen you in.
in nationals, I was champion medium heavy 88 and heavy 94, super heavy, and open class twice.
So you've bounced around in the different weight classes. You go from
Yeah,
medium heavy to super heavy.
nah, it's like when I arrived in Australia in 2019, and 5 months after everything closed about the COVID, and like I'm just stay at home working, and my wife is chef. And like every day I just work, get home, she cook because she don't work during like almost 6 months. And every day I arrive at home and there is a lot of food to eat, like she like cook cakes, like a desserts, and I just eat, work and sleep every day. And after COVID, I was with 108, I think,
whoa.
but like so fat, with my conditional was like zero. And I one day I wake up, look to the mirror and say to my wife, like, nah, I have to change my life. And I decided fighting 88 in the nationals in 2021.
Yeah.
And I just started dropping my weight back to training. It was so hard, like, and I got this in 3 months, I think, 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Drop what?
And
So
after,
108 to 88 in 3 months.
yeah, I dropped 20 kilos in 3 months.
20 kilos in
Wow.
3 months. Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah. And like when you have a focus, like everything is easy. And I love this lifestyle, as big challenge always. And I just dropped my weight and I was a champion in 2021 and I 88. And always as well, I have a nutritionist with me.
Yeah.
And I say to him, like, I was the champion at division and I got the third place in open class. But I lost for one really strong guy. And I say to my nutritionist, I think now it's time for I put some weight on, but not fat, strong. And I come too heavy. And when I come into 94, I fought in 2022. I was champion my division open class.
Yeah.
But in the end of the event, I feeling like I missed something. And I decided coming up again. And now I really feel it. I feeling really strong.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah, I can see. Sorry, Anton, you've been doing a lot of you've bulked up a lot in the last 6 months or so. Have you got a strength and conditioning coach? What are you doing
Yeah,
for that?
I got one from Brazil. Both my nutritionist is from Brazil, and the condition as well. She's from Brazil, and she helped me a lot, you know. But we have a little problem now because I love pull weights, you know, like work on the gym, pull a lot of weights. But the conditional, it's a little bit different. Like the focus is not a lot of weight, and we have a little trouble here in this middle, you know. But like she's amazing. She helped me a lot, and I can feeling the difference, you know.
Yeah.
Mm,
You're doing
amazing.
that online? Is that because she's in Brazil? So how does that work for you? She's not here with you?
No, she's not here. She travel around the world. She's a black belt as well. Yeah, is Ludmila, and she was fight the world pro. And I talk with him about Mensa. Sometimes I call to her. You know, we talk about the performance, then the positions, and everything. And like for me, it works so good. My nutritionist is the same. Everything by Mensa, by call, video call. You know,
Yeah.
and always it's good. And like for us here, it's better because the real in Brazil is really cheap, you know. And when I pay with dollars,
Mhm.
it's easier for us.
Although your nutritionist before was your wife, but then you fired her for someone in Brazil. So anyway, so it
She
was
stays
free
as the
before,
wife,
but
not as the nutritionist. Yeah.
um yeah, my question for you, lifting weights, lifting heavy weights, and then competing as hard as you do. Like I'm finding right now, like I am doing weights and I'm doing weights to stop getting injured in BJJ, but I don't do heavy weights. Like my body was breaking down with BJJ, and now it feels like it's strong again because of weights. But I feel like if you go too heavy with the weights, that would break your body down as well. Do you have issues with your body breaking down from lifting weights? And I've seen you compete, man. You're an absolute animal. Like you go full in no matter what you're doing, man. So I imagine you're the same with weights. Does your body break down under all of that?
Man, it's like this is a little bit hard, but if you ask for any guy that really, really loves jiu-jitsu and really have to do something different, you have to train with injuries, you know. I have no
Yeah.
choice.
Mm.
Like in the last Pumpex, I hurt my shoulder in the first fight.
Right.
And about this, I didn't fight the open class. I just fight my division, and I almost don't fight the nogi because like I feeling a lot my shoulder. But I had only one fight in nogi. I was talking with Carlos, and we decided jumping in, and I had a good fight. But always I have the injuries. This is another thing than my coach preparation was talk with me. You know, like sometimes I put a lot of weight and this hurt myself a little bit. And when I go to the jiu-jitsu, I hurt more and I never stopped training.
Yeah.
Like that is many times then I arrive at the gym and everybody say to me like, Augusto, what are you doing here, man? You are
Your
like,
arm's
do
hanging off,
you,
man.
yeah,
Go
man, like
home.
the wrist so big, my foot so big, and I say, no, I have to train. I don't know if my opponent is training or not. Just in case, it's better training, you know.
Yeah.
That's the Brazilian
Actually,
way,
on that,
Anton.
yeah, on that note, I think I get another question, Kim, because you've been
Yeah,
hogging.
go. I had to.
Um,
Yeah, go.
so with that, like, what happens to you if you have to stop training? Do you go crazy, or like, is this something you have to do more so, like, not only because your imaginary opponent might be training, but also what happens to you if you stop?
Man, that is one funny history.
Mhm.
In 2017, I was a Brazilian national championship in a purple belt. And one day after the event, I get to the gym for training as every day. And one friend gonna come and show one position like very simple from the guard, and he sweep me there, and I hit my hand and I broke my hand.
Wow.
Like really, really simple position, you know. And I get the what the name that white thing then you put on the arm when you broke.
Cast.
Yeah, I put a cast, but like 2 months, one month after, we had that the words from the CBJJE is in São Paulo, and I was like so excited to fight. I still training, but I just use my left arm, and I learn to work the last guard. That day, my coach say, Augusto, you want to still training? I say, yeah, but always I like play on top. And that time he said to me, Augusto, all right, let's adapt something for your game. And I start to work just last guard with one hand. And like 10 days before the words there, I just take off from myself, and like my hand was so big, purple, and I was with my wife, and she like got so pissed off with me. Said, Augusto, what are you doing? Look at me. My mom was so crazy with me, but like was my dream, and I jumped there. I did 5 fights. Whoa. And in the first fight, the guy put me down. I hit my hand on floor because he dropped me out of the mat. I feel in my hand, but I still fighting. I won 5 fights and I lost the final.
Wow.
But like was crazy, but I love this, like I love jiu-jitsu always. I have a lot of things. Like when I started jiu-jitsu, my family never support me, like you guys that can imagine in Brazil, the life is really, really hard. And I'm coming from a poor family there. And always my dad, my mom say, you have to study, you have to work. Always I work. I start to work with 13 years old.
Wow.
But like, I never like study, I know this is wrong, but this is not for me, unfortunately,
Me neither, brother. Me neither.
August, tell us how you started. When you started jiu-jitsu, how old were you? And like how?
Like I started training jiu-jitsu with 14, but in a social project close to my home. But I train like twice per month, 3 times per month, just because few friends go there. I go as well. And I stopped for a long time. And when I had 18 years old, like I'm not a too good kid when I was a young, like always I have problems, always I have a fight on the street, on the school. And I like a lot to watch the the like UFC Pride. And I remember I saw the Vanderlei Silva fighting in a Pride, and like he smashed everyone like crazy dog, And I listen to the guys say always like he's a black belt jiu-jitsu, blah 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 blah, jiu-jitsu black belt, blah blah blah. I say, what is jiu-jitsu? What is that? And I remember I training when I a little bit more younger, and I looked for one gym close to my home. I went there by myself just for like protect myself, because I had a lot of problems on the street. And I started training. After I still training for 1 year, and after this I meet another friends, then train MMA, and I started training MMA. I stopped training with Gi for like 1 or 2 years, and after this I back to Gi as well. Stop with MMA. I like punches on the face is not for me, and I never stopped.
Yeah.
Did you have any?
And then what brought you? You go, Anton. Sorry.
Did you take any MMA fights? Did you actually compete in MMA?
Yeah, I had. Yeah. I won by submission. 25 seconds, I think so.
Wow.
Because this gym.
Did you actually attack with punches first and then get the submission, or how did it go?
Like Nah, the fight starts like everything happened so quick, you know. Like I gave one kick on his leg, he kicked my leg, and I get in the double leg, put down, and get in the guillotine. That's it, finish.
Yeah, awesome, man.
And what
Yeah,
brought you
like
to Australia? How did you end up here in Melbourne?
sorry.
How did you end up in Australia? When did you come to Australia? What brought you here?
Like as I said before, the life in Brazil is really hard. And I have one brother here, but he lives in Sydney. He's a citizen already. He living here for 10 years. And like always I listen, he say like the life here is better. It's hard, but it's better than Brazil, like about the security, the make money, you know. But as I said before, I never like study too much, you know, and in my mind, I never imagined I speak English, you know, like learning English. For me, this was like impossible because you had to study. And for me, it's impossible. But I work in a one big factory in my city in Brazil. And I had a few problems there, like don't have opportunity for you make a better life, you know. I start see you have the same life than I don't know 80% of Brazilian people, you know, like work, buy one house, buy one simple car, and save money all the life for like 1 year for enjoy 1 week on the beach, you know. Like I just one day I just coming out of the factory, get the Luana's house, and I said to her like, I'm so tired, I don't like this, I don't want this for my life. And like she said, let's go to Australia with your brother. He said that is good, blah blah blah. I said, yeah, let's go. But like I just say that's it, finish. I sleep with her, another day wake up, go to work again, worse. And I was working. She sent a message for me and say, Augusto, I'm here in the spot. Then you buy a intercambio, you know, when you is the agents
Travel
for
agent?
the what?
What do you mean, like a travel agent to buy
Yeah,
airfare?
the agents. Then you help you coming here, you know.
Yeah.
She was there and she signed up the contract with my name and say, Augusto, I sign you up now and you have to go. I said, no, why you did this? Are you crazy? And she said, now we have to go.
Wow.
And like, I didn't have the money already, you know, I just saved money for 1 year, work. And I just coming and like when we start planning coming here, we would like go to the Gold Coast, but because the weather there is really similar with the Brazil, but we saw like Melbourne was really good because need a lot of people to work here in 2019, a lot of opportunities, and we decided just coming. But always my plan was live with jiu-jitsu, you know, like full time.
Wow. Your wife's oh, sorry, I cut you off, man. Go on.
No, it's so good. I finished.
Yeah, your wife seems like a really powerful woman. I've seen, you know, when you two are together in the space, it's a dominating force. You know, both of you are just, you know, special, right? But the thing is, I'm interested to know about the dynamic. Like, what role does she play? Does she do jiu-jitsu? What role does she have in like your competing? Like, who is she for you when it comes to jiu-jitsu?
Man, it's like Luana and my coach from Brazil, the Fabio Alcino. He was from Cicero Costa. Is the only two persons that always believe in myself more than myself. You know, like, and always she support me. And I meet her. I was a blue or purple belt. I just got my purple belt like a few months. I don't remember. but she always like watch UFC, watch fights, you know. And when I meet her, I work in a shop center in my city home, and she worked there as well. And like we start talking with each other, blah blah blah. And I said to her, I train jiu-jitsu. She said, really? I like fights, but after I saw he really like fight, you know, like we watch a lot of web series together, and she always support me, always. Like here is the same. Some days I arrive, I get home so tired, and always she push myself. I don't cook. I don't know how to fry one egg. You know, I don't know how to cook fries fry eggs.
Yeah.
And she make all my meals every day. She check on the schedule, the check
Scale.
everything scale. Yeah, she make every meal. She wake up like 4:45 a.m. for make my breakfast.
Wow.
Just for cook my breakfast, and after she back to sleep every day.
Wow.
That's love.
Committed woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
I want to
amazing.
know how you learned English. Like before this, you said you were a bit nervous about being on here with your English. It's very good. And you only came here in 2019. So in 4 years, how did you
Yeah.
learn with such good English without being good at school?
Yeah, like when we arrived here, we was with the student visa. We had to study English for 5 months, but since I arrived here, I always work with unload containers in a Top Cruise Solutions, the big company here, and always it's really hard job. You know, like unload containers is really hard job, but pay good. And I need always pay my new visa. It's really expensive and everything. About this, always I still work there. And every day I arrive at school around, I finish my job around 4, 3 p.m. And I get to school around 6. I just get in there, lay down on the table and sleep during all class. And I learn English on the street, you know. A lot of people from the gym help me too much. Like everyone have a lot of patience for teach me, you know, like about this I love Australia, you know, like everybody here is really polite, have a patience when you coming from another place. Like my accent is really strong, I know. And a lot of people like nobody don't care about my accent, you know.
No.
And
It's
I just
interesting.
learn on the street.
Yeah. I read somewhere the other day that the brain, when we go to a different place, we genetically switch on some things to help us adapt to a new setting, you know? And I also think, like, this is a personal theory of mine, but when love and relationships are involved, we are even more capable of adapting quickly, like to preserve and protect family and grow. And I feel like I'm learning another language at the moment as well. I've got this woman coming to live with me from Russia. And so I'm learning Russian, but I've been reading and studying, but I'm learning Russian. Like they're surprised how fast I'm learning. And I'm learning because I have a real reason. Like I have to perform in this. You know, I have to get this right because I'm going to be responsible. And I feel like maybe something like that for you, like the change of environment, adapting, you had to learn real fast, man. But it's like, it obviously happened very quickly because you're very proficient with English, you know?
Thanks, man. I try like, but I have a plan to back to study English, you know, for everything, you know. I think I have to learn more, and like my dreams to open my gym here, and absolutely sure how much better is my English is better for my business, you know.
Interesting. Maybe not too much, man, because then they won't know you're Brazilian, and that matters. They need to know you're Brazilian.
Yeah, I hope the medals on the wall help, you know.
Yeah.
And how did you find Carlos? Was he already, did you know him from Brazil, or how did you happen upon coming to Cia Paulista?
When I come to Melbourne, and I have one friend here, is Rafael De Rico. He's from the same city than me, and he's brown belt. When we live in Taubaté, is my city, is in São Paulo. It's like 1 hour and a half from the capital, and my city is really small, like around 300,000 people, and we have a lot of friends between us than training jiu-jitsu, and a lot of times we go for friends house for training, and I meet this guy there, is Rafael De Rico, and he arrived in Australia, I think 1 year or 1 year and a half before myself, and he and his wife helped me a lot when I arrived here. They find a spot for I live, one apartment in a city, and he was training there with Carlos, and he invited me there for coming and meet Carlos. I listened about Carlos before in Brazil, because Carlos is like is was one of the top guys in the world between 22 and 20, yeah, 2002 and 2006. He was, I think, in the first of the ranking IBJJF, and I meet him. He was a pleasure for me, like I just get there training, but when finished the training, I just say to Carlos, thank you so much, coach, for you open your doors for me. But unfortunately, I just arrived here in Australia. I don't have money to pay, I'm so sorry. I love this, but one day when I start to work, make money, absolutely share back here. And he gave to me the opportunity for helping. He said, Augusto, you can keep coming, keep training. I just will ask, you can train like free, but I will ask only one thing for you. Please, training. Just show it for me, then you really want to train. I said, about this, no worries.
Wow.
And I miss a
Amazing.
lot of classes English just for go to train, like my wife always so pissed off. You're gonna miss the class again? Yeah, I'm so tired. My back is pain today, and after she leaves home, I go to the gym,
Yeah. I'm interested to know who you think the best jiu-jitsu you've ever faced so far is. Like, can you name the person whose jiu-jitsu was on another level and you just are like, wow, who blew you away with their skill?
There is a lot of people, but I think then I had a pleasure then role was Roger Grace.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Well, talk
He
about
come.
that. Yeah.
He's Carlos' friend, and he came in here once, and I was here, and he gave me to the pleasure to roll with him, and man, like it's crazy, man. Like is everything that I try do, he was like 10 steps forward of me, every grip, every movement, and like his arms is so long, his legs is so long, and he's so strong, so technical. I said, man, what I can do here, like
Wow.
it's
Yeah.
great. But there is a
Amazing.
lot of people like Rodolfo Vieira and Paulo and João Miau is two guys that I had a pleasure then training like on the same team because I'm from Cícero Costa in Brazil.
Mm.
I meet Thalisson, Thalisson Soares here, yeah.
Yeah.
I meet him when we two was a purple belt. We training together in a
Wow.
Cícero. Yeah,
Wow.
me,
Wow.
a lot of people, and absolutely sure. But the person then I really, really like can't understand is Leandro Lo. When he was playing, he was fighting, man. It's crazy. When he was on the bottom, his game, you can see like he feeling like I'm good here. When he play on top, he feeling the same, like
Amazing. No weak
he's
spot.
comfortable in every position. Absolutely
Wow.
sure is my idol is Leandro Lo.
Beautiful, man. Thank you.
And how do you find Australia compares in jiu-jitsu to Brazil? What's the standard like? You've only been here about 4 years. We've asked this of other guests in the past who have also come from Brazil, but they were there many years ago. You were only there 4 or 5 years ago. What's the standard of jiu-jitsu like in Australia versus what it is in Brazil?
I think like the jiu-jitsu here today is a really higher level, because everything there is a big names here, big quotes here. Then I had a pleasure to meet a big quotes here, and I'm friend of these guys, and the internet helped a lot as well today, because when I start training jiu-jitsu, like they don't have too much information on the internet about the position, about the rules, about everything.
Yeah.
But I think in Brazil there is more people in higher level because the population there is much bigger than here,
Mhm.
But about the level of jiu-jitsu, I think is really similar,
Yeah. Do you ever meet people in Brazil who've never heard of jiu-jitsu? Like, is that a thing?
Man, like generally the old people, that is, but about the new generation, everybody knows jiu-jitsu because everybody know UFC,
Interesting.
but a lot of people. But
It's not
still
because it's not a
soccer,
household name here. I meet people all the time here who've never. I have to tell them what jiu-jitsu is all the time.
yeah, but like it's really I can see like when I arrived here in 2019, I'm start fighting 2020, in 2020 the nationals in 2022, and the nationals of this year you can see a big difference, like the competitors, the public then coming just for watch, like here I can see the jiu-jitsu are increasing a lot every month,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is good for everybody,
It is, except that obviously the Pan Packs didn't experience that. That was a smaller comp though, right? Like it went down in size, right? Is that what I heard that?
Yeah. What do you think about the IBJJF here in Australia? Because I don't know if you were here in 2019 Pan Packs, that was probably double the size of what this year's Pan Packs was.
Yeah, I think the IBJJF should be back there, like Melbourne Open and Sydney Open, Gold Coast Open, they stay around the states here. And I think this year is not didn't have like too many people fighting because the guys start to announce about the event like one month and a half before the event.
Yeah.
The marketing I think was too late because generally a lot of people out of Australia coming to fight. This time I saw a few guys like from the Asian coming to fight, but I remember in 2019 there is people from Brazil, Europe, USA, Asia.
Yeah.
I think the problem was from the market,
Interesting. Most people say it's the price, but I agree with you. I think it's the marketing. I don't think the price matters. Like it matters, but I think more than that, yeah, it was weird. How little lead up there was just strange.
The price is really like hard, and in my mind, IBJJF should be paid like something for the black belts, because a lot of people coming just for watch the black belts. We work so hard for put the big show there, like we pay for show, like for give the show. That's for the IBJJF.
Interesting.
Like for the divisions, the black belts and like AGP, always pay for every division. This is really, really amazing.
Yeah.
Interesting. And like didn't have too many competitors, but absolutely sure IBJJF make a good money.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't have needed many though. That's right.
That's
Oh
it.
wow.
And what's next for you, Augusto? What's coming up? What are you doing
Like
next?
there is one Sunshine Coast, and I plan to fly to there for fights. I was registered for the Tasmania Open, but unfortunately nobody get in my division. I was registered in my division open class, gi and no gi, nobody get in 4 divisions.
Mhm.
And I'm still 20 points down and the ranking for I get my first spot, and probably I go there just for fight or try get this 20 points for I get the first in the ranking in Australia.
Oh, yes, the rankings. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
we've only got 1 minute 48 left, but what about like ADCC trials and all of that stuff? Are you into all that? Into the ADCC stuff?
Yeah, I would like, but for fight the ADCC here, I think I should be a citizen.
Oh,
Because I'm Brazilian, I can't get in. I
ah,
have to go
that's
to
tough.
Brazil and fight there.
Oh no. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Man, we could talk to you
But
for a lot
what
longer, man. Today we are pretty much out of time, but you're a very interesting guy.
thank
Yeah,
you.
and your English was perfect. You
Yeah,
worried for nothing. Everyone will love to hear your accent, especially. We love the accent. So
we do.
yeah,
Thank you.
it's
Awesome.
very good.
Well, do you
So
have
we'll
any
have
words?
this episode out in a couple of weeks, and if you could share it on your social media for us, that would be really amazing, please. And we look forward to seeing you out there on the competition scene and taking some more
Absolutely.
golds, I'm sure.
Yeah, this year was really, really good for me. I got a lot of titles here in Australia. I was champion like in Queensland, New South Wales, Big State, National, Pampex,
Amazing.
a lot of events.
And many more to
Fantastic.
come, brother. Awesome work.
Awesome.
We'll catch you later,
Thank you so
everybody.
much. See you on the
Us,
map.
thank you.
Augusto.
Bye.
Bye-bye.